there. Remember, these oysters are live animals, so a lot of people see them sitting out and say, oh gosh, isn't that terrible for it? Well, if this was beef or something, you wouldn't want to do that. This is a live animal. They're actually more comfortable here than they are in the cooler. There's less stress. So we have about 6 hours we can set them out.
Say oysters, and several things come to mind. One, maybe issues with some at-risk folks eating oysters in the warm summer months. In other words, concerns with the bacteria Vibrio vulnificus. Another issue has always been getting to the meat, the laborious task of shucking oysters. Well, Motivatit Seafood in Houma, Louisiana has come up with a process that addresses both of these concerns.
Our biggest problem has always been finding shucking labor that does a good job consistently, so we've always been working on an automatic shucking machine. At the same time, we wanted to reduce bacteria, because that's a constant concern in oysters as well, and we accidentally found the shucking machine in solving the bacteria problem.
Motivatit Seafood has revolutionized the process of killing the bacteria Vibrio vulnificus within the oyster. It's called ultra-high pressure processing. Here, these stainless steel tubes are filled with about 60 pounds of oysters, and then they're inserted into these large high-pressure systems where 40,000 pounds of water pressure is exerted onto the oyster, killing any bacteria. In addition to killing the bacteria, the high pressure also loosens the muscle, which keeps the shell so tightly closed, making it easier to shuck the oysters.
The oyster shucks itself, but there's no shearing force to hurt the oyster. Just like if you had a grape in a water bottle and squeezed it, that grape is not going to crush because you have the pressure's equalized from all sides. It's hydrostatic, which is a real fancy word to say it doesn't hurt the oyster.
Voisin says the essence of what makes an oyster taste so good is its blood or its liqueur. It's contained there in the heart sac, part of the circulatory system, and many times that flavorful juice is lost during conventional shucking methods. You can also see that the oysters don't require so much force to shuck. These women are opening these oysters with dull blades.
The beautiful thing about using pressure to kill bacteria is there's no hot or cold spots. Anytime you use heat to kill bacteria, which is the traditional method, you've always got to either overdo some or underdo some. There's just never a consistent temperature through a field of space. Pressure is always consistent, 100%.
Motivatit Seafood, located in Houma, Louisiana, sits alongside the Intercoastal Canal and is one of the largest oyster processing facilities in the state. It's here where a fleet of about 40 oyster boats drop off fresh oysters from the 15,000 acres of oyster beds that Motivatit leases from the state. They process some 15 to 16 million pounds of oysters every year. Motivatit Seafood ships oysters all over the country. These gold-banded oysters have been pressurized and have a shelf life of 21 days. They also cryogenically freeze their oysters on the half shell, which makes them an attractive item to sell to places that don't sell a high volume of oysters. Keep them frozen. Voisin says demand has never been higher here at Motivatit, due in large part to all the damage sustained to the oyster facilities and fleet across the state. So never mind trying to keep up with which months you can eat oysters in. These oysters can be eaten any time of the year and any place in the world.